Know how it is.
So the aiming.
Yeah, let me slide this up here.
Yeah. I hit a shot last night. This is a shot I hit last night when I was at the bonus ball, and we were filming. I don't know what made me do it, but we're out there and we're waiting, and I got this. I said, y'all, everybody remember Happy Gilmore, the movie Happy Gilmore with the golf, and he ran up to the golf ball. I said, watch this, and I'm just messing around, and I stood back like this, and I went 100 miles. And I said, watch it. I went 100 miles an hour. I went, and I knocked that ball 100 miles an hour, right in the hole. And I said, I quit. I'll never do it again.
Well, you know, that's how...
I thought I'd break my tip or something.
Weldon Rogers used to break kind of like that. He'd stand back, take a couple steps in, and whip it one-handed. I mean, he had a one... And he would bet you that over 50% of the balls would end up this side of the side pockets.
Really?
Junior Weldon Rogers.
I remember Weldon Rogers. He trapped me one time when I was about 18, playing one-handed.
Yeah, I can believe it.
He's playing one-handed.
We
were in somewhere. He come in with a hat.
I bet Weldon Rogers was in Alaska at some point in his life.
Yes, he was.
Junior Weldon Rogers. That's exactly right.
He did.
What a one! Played with a cigarette at all times, just about. I mean, he's the best one-handed, one of the best one-handed players I've ever seen.
For the Cavs, yeah, he was a hell of a player.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
On the bar table. He was mainly, at the time.
I saw him play on both, but his gambling was on the bar table.
On the bar table, right.
Yeah, he came up to Alaska a couple of different times.
All right, Francisco, let's see it. The ancient, the noise secret.
See what you got there, partner. I want to see what you do.
This is the aiming I'm looking. Just go straight and hit the ball.
Well, do you aim at the bottom of the ball, dead center bottom, and then the last shot?
It's a lot of people, they ask me, but I always play like this. I play like this, but if I release the cue, I always hit here, in the middle.
Okay, you do what now? Where do you aim and then come up?
When he's stroking the ball, it looks like he's always stroking
like
the ball.
It does.
But he has a bicycle poke thing, you know.
So
really you really just feel where you're going to hit. It's more of a feel type. He just knows where the cue ball is, and he knows pretty much where his stroke's going to be.
Well, here's another one. Like, I watched you play a shot tonight where you're using a bridge on the rail like this, and then you'll bring your cue all the way out.
Yeah, this is I do that many years.
Yeah.
I do that many years.
Yeah, watch. Yeah, but what I'm talking about is when you bridge like this, with the cue like that.
I want you to do that many times.
Especially when I break.
Yeah, and you'll bring it like all the way out from, I guess it's not even between your fingers.
Yeah,
and
I
you put
never
it
hit
through.
the fingers.
Yeah.
I have no idea, Justin, why I do that.
And a lot of it's in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
You're not
it's just what you're comfortable with.
Even,
it makes
even
you
if
comfortable.
I shoot, I'm like that. See?
Mm-hmm.
And now, like that.
If you look where he's actually aiming at, he's got half of his tip left of the cue ball edge.
But when he comes through,
when he comes through, it's not nowhere near that.
It's just kind of it's one of those things you just don't ask too many questions because it'll confuse you.
He's just much more of a feel.
Yeah.
You know, it's his definitely his stroke and stance, and you can't teach that. There's nothing you can actually teach. You wouldn't bring a new player in and say, okay, well, I'm going to teach you how to stroke like him. But you have to. He can teach you the feel and where everything is. You know, better than anybody else can.
You remember when Efren first came here? I used to call it bicycle pump. I mean, his arm was, boy, roller coaster. It's really smoothed out a lot.
Right.
But you're more animated back there. But your hand, you're so loose. But I think a lot of that
too loose. It's only
just
3
to
fingers.
keep you loose. I mean, if people can watch that, you don't even know what's holding the cue stick. It is just loosey goosey.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like that only.
But then, and it keeps you from tightening up, I think, as much as anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
It
just
keeps
tie
him
like
be able to
this.
pull the trigger
I got too
under,
much
under
power
heat.
here.
Yeah.
Here, I got too much power.
Yeah.
Well, what
So
it is,
do you
know,
drop
can
your elbow?
control it.
Yeah.
Because I know
can
some people
control
say you don't ever, you know what I mean? But your stroke looks like it's all over the place.
I want you to show. One thing he does, is good or probably better than anybody. When you're teaching from right here, when he stroke the ball a couple times, okay, you watch how everything kind of moves, but from here to here, he's as straight as they come, no matter what. So he hits his pure through from here to here. Now, how he gets here, that's his own deal. You know, that's just the way it is. But from here to here is really where it matters. And he does it as well. Efren does it as well. They're very pure from there to there, and that's why they can hit a clean cue ball.
Whitey doesn't lie, and it goes where you hit it, and you know.
So really, that's what you. Whenever you're teaching
But
somebody, that's what you want to work
if
on.
I hit like that straight.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't really. That wouldn't be normal. Now myself, I have to try to hit where I'm aiming at.
Your
so
warm-ups
mine is
are
more
exactly that.
straight,
Yeah.
straight. That's what I work on. But from there to there, we're still working on pretty much the same thing, and you know, we just get there a little different ways. You know, that's all.
What else was I going to ask you?
Tight pockets, huh?
I know.
Huh? Tight pockets.
Now, I heard Alex say one time, we were talking about the grip, and he said for 10 different shots, he might have 10 different grips, different tensions, you know. He might be real super loose on one shot, he might go tighten up for another
Depends with
shot.
the position. If you if you follow the ball, and then you don't have to tie, you know.
And so do you put different pressures for different shots?
Yeah.
So you
You
grip
also
it
have-
tighter, or you hold it tighter
For
for a certain shot?
For example, this one, if I play this one, because you're gonna follow, right? You're gonna follow the cue, so it's slow tie, it's very loose.
Okay.
But
When would you tighten it?
When
Like
you
when you hold it?
when you control the cue ball or draw the ball,
The distance is huge
yeah,
too.
the
Whether
distance.
you're spread out.
It's like this. I can tie, you know.
Yeah.
See, I tie. It's like that. But if I like to the cue ball, bring all the way, and then I don't have to tie loose.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of people don't realize, but when you're shooting a longer shot, you shorten you choke up on everything, or you lengthen out.
Yeah.
That has a lot of bearing on grip.
Sure, that's
too, I'm quite
really
certain.
what
Alex
he's
is right.
explaining. Yeah.
Alex is right. It's a lot of different.
Yeah. See, myself, I'm the opposite. I want to keep it the same, pretty much my pressure, pretty much the whole time. So, you know.
Well, there's a lot of, and there's always those theories of cue sticks. If he's playing with a 21-ounce cue, let it do
it's
the
gonna
work.
be-
If you're playing with an
Absolutely.
18-ounce cue, your
You have to do a
arm's
little
got to
bit
do
work.
the work.
That's right.
And there's
And
such
this
all
one
these
is
balances.
Johnny
That's
too.
right.
If you wanna kill the ball, you know, you have to control and then tie like that. Control
kinda-
here, you know.
so
Control
kinda-
here, yeah.
Hold
so
that
it's
grip up.
more,
Hold that
So
grip
you're
up.
saying more.
No, so I can get a picture.
Okay, so you're more here.
Well, I play here tie, and then the cue I don't play so much loose, you know. I just play little and release and
Oh, I see what you
Tight,
mean.
right?
So if you kind of short stroking anything,
short
that's
stroking.
when you want to be tight.
yeah,
If you're long stroking anything, you have to be looser,
looser.
a little
Okay,
looser.
it could be
So
a
if
rougher
you're
rule, I
long
would think,
stroking, you're looser here because the follow through
Yeah.
has to come way out here.
Sure.
But if you have a short follow through,
short, yeah.
you're going to tighten a
Yeah.
little
That's
bit.
also why I said too. I think
I see what you
if
mean.
you get spread out like this, or if you're
That's right. I see what you mean. So if you're really having to put a lot of English on the cue ball, you probably be one looser, so you can really put the spin.
Why, you forgot that already or what?
I forgot? Yeah, man. I tell you what, I'm getting old. I can't remember hardly anything. I got to learn again.
See, like, look, see how far his hand was. That's what you were talking
Too
about
much
earlier.
bonus ball.
Too much bonus ball. No, actually, to me, the bonus ball
Here, Johnny, your
is
turn.
really helping my game.
All right. Well, you guys are chit-chatting a little bit. You can also discuss the prediction of this weekend's match. You know, it starts Friday. That's tomorrow. And Justin will have all the pay-per-view.
It's up now.
It's already up, all the pay-per-view information.
Well, the-
Johnny,
is the
why
prediction?
don't, well, before we get into that, Johnny, show me, as long as we were talking about, show
Okay.
me your grip, how you grip the cue.
I'm more here, more of a natural American style, I guess, where it's kind of here. This in here is loose, kind of like his, but not. I'm not loose with only two fingers. So I'm kind of the same way. I really want to. Myself, I really want to keep this and keep this even. I want the 90-degree angle. That's what I'm
Pendulum
always.
swing.
I don't want it up in here where it's the cue's going to change angles. So myself I try to keep it kind of loose up to my shoulders, to where I can kind of keep it to where the elbow tries not to go up and down. And
Do you snap your wrist at any time?
I do. It's probably naturally. I don't try to snap it, but now it's like anything. If I have a shot here and I'm really trying to whip it down here,
And once you,
it's gonna
shoot it this way so we
kind
can
of
watch. Shoot
turn
it towards this pocket.
to
So the
this
camera
pocket.
can pick it
Okay.
This way, yeah.
So if I have a shot here and I want to draw it, where I really have to put a lot of spin, I probably at the end
there's
Earl does the same thing, and I think that's more natural, but it helps me kind of.
and notice where your hand was. No,
It was
further
kinda-
back.
Oh, it was
Yep,
further
it was
back
about
on that
almost that far back because you were
So it was
stretched
here.
out.
So I had a longer
Yep,
bridge.
Yep.
So I had that
everything
longer.
gets spread out. Most people don't understand that's as important as anything. As
Now,
far as
do you, as far as a bridge goes, do you use an open bridge much, or do you only use it like when a precision shot comes up? Obviously, you're going to use a closed bridge for a power shot, probably.
Sure. I think it's more. I think open and closed bridges is more what you're feeling at the time. Myself, I probably more tend to middle to top English, more open bridge, unless I'm cinching balls or something like that where it's easy, open bridge. But anything that I'm drawing, that I have to move the cue ball around, drawing the ball, it's more closed bridge. So I kind of tend to, that's kind of what I kind of stick to myself.
Francisco, you play with a lot of open bridge, it seems like. Is that just comfort, how you're feeling?
Well, I feel right now I feel good with that, with the open bridge, and it depends, Sometimes it depends with the shot, and sometimes I have to close bridge, and then I have to do it, But most of the time, if I like to open bridge.
Okay.
Well, I tell you one thing. One of my good friends, Nick Varner, he's always told me. He says, no matter what you're feeling at the time, make sure it's comfortable.
Yeah.
He said, if you get over the ball and it just don't feel comfortable, he said, get where you're comfortable. He said, because if you're not going to make the ball.
Yeah.
So, I've learned so much through him. Just kind of put myself in the right position more often.
That leads into another great topic, because I've a lot of sports psychology, things like that. Visualization is a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Do you guys practice that on individual shots, as well as, say you're going into a big tournament match? Do you visualize yourself getting up there, performing well, and winning, or do you break it down on a smaller level to where you try to visualize each particular shot and shape what you need to see to win, or do you even do it all?
I do more of the latter. I definitely break it down. I try to not see ahead. I try not to, because to me it's if you try to look ahead, to me it's only letdowns. It's only can be letdowns. So you're looking ahead to winning, but then again, only if you win that you do what you think. So
You have to do the things to win in order to win.
Absolutely, you have to prepare one shot. I know it's old cliche, one shot at a time, but that's really how you got to break it down. Definitely we're looking at the table. We're looking kind of what we need to do, but we if we don't make that ball right in front of us, it don't make a damn what we're looking at.
That's right.
You know, it don't matter. So you better better be where your focus is
And that gets
at
back to
when
that.
it comes time.
Missing that simple shot.
Absolutely.
That's where that thing will.
That's exactly
it'll
right.
Destroy your momentum.
100%.
Just because you're thinking too far ahead.
Absolutely.
I got this one in the bag. I'm going to run the next rack. Oops.
Sure, no good.
Well, and that's
No good.
another.
I've done it too many times. No good. No.
What's the biggest reason you miss a ball you should make?
Myself, my biggest reason is mishitting the cue ball. And I know that that might be not the answer where you're wanting to elaborate.
No, I mean, I'm just,
you know,
whatever
myself,
the answer is right.
when I miss a ball, it really comes from mishitting the cue ball. So I didn't put myself in the right position. I'm really working on bridge placement is what I've been really keying on the last few years, is having my bridge in the right position to hit the cue ball where I need, because my aim is feel. You know, even though we have our aiming systems, really there's 100 different aiming systems out there. I'm sure he looks at the ball different than I do. I'm sure I look at the ball different than maybe Earl, you know, or anything like that. But in the scheme of things, that's feel. That's sighting it from here to there, so it's feel what we're doing. So really the technical part comes from hitting the cue ball. And so them are the really two main things you need to work on. Is first you learn your sight, that's good, but once you get down over the ball, I don't care if I'm aiming the ball 100 inches to the right, I know that's too much, but way to the right, it really comes down to hitting the cue ball. So, you know, the sight, the ball, the pocket, really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It all comes from here because this is all we ever hit.
That's all you can control.
That's all we can. Only thing we can ever control is hitting the cue ball. So that really better be your focus.
There's one other thing that spectators see, and I love watching mechanics, and you'll see it once in a while, but a guy will get careless, and he won't get enough contact surface on the table. In other words, he'll make his bridge off his fingers instead of getting his palm down on the table. And that will always, eventually, that'll bite you. So you've got to have this firm foundation.
Absolutely.
And those are things you guys don't say, but I know you're trying to concentrate on them. And,
Sure.
you know.
Absolutely. Having, well, it's like anything. It's like a golf swing. You know, if I can put all my weight here, you know, I have a strong foundation that I can turn around. You know, if I'm off balance and I'm here, it doesn't matter how good my swing is. I'm never going to hit the ball like I should. Whereas same in pool, if your bridge is not placed solid, where it doesn't move, just like Mark just
Something's
said,
going to move.
you can't play consistent enough. You're not going to hit the cue ball clean enough. You're just not going to do it. So, I know the pros we use more of the risky bridges up in the air, for certain shots, this and that. But we've done it for 25, 30 years. You know, it's definitely not something that an amateur wants to start trying to copy after.
Sure.
Work on getting that bridge down solid, like Mark said. Work on getting it solid, and then there's no moving parts. The more moving parts you have, the more problems you're going to have.
Now, Boosie, when you miss a ball, what's your biggest reason? Seems like when you do miss a ball you're supposed to make.
Well, if I miss a ball, maybe my position and my eyes no good. That's why when you miss a ball, when you play in the table, you cannot trust any shot. You have to play concentration. Because when you miss a ball and then make you a little bit,
Never take a shot for granted. That's what he's saying.
Never
take a shot for granted. Always try to concentrate the same on every shot if you can.
And like Johnny say, if you don't feel good in your position,
comfortable, right?
Comfortable, and you have to change.
I'll tell you what, can I get you guys to lay your cue on the table there, and I want to see if I can get up here and get a shot.
Sure.
And we'll get a look at. Can you tilt it this way a little bit? There you go. And then this is your playing cue. This is Johnny's playing cue.
Sure. Scorpion cue. This one cue I've been playing with for, it's got to be just this cue. It's 4 or 5 years I've been playing with, and it's a very, very solid cue. The shaft itself is my design. Weight and diameter and
what is that?
stiffness.
What's the diameter on your shaft?
The diameter is 12 3/4. 12 3/4. I actually have right now. It's a longer shaft than I've ever played with. It's a longer cue, and for some reason,
like 59.
It's 59. Absolutely, the shaft is an inch longer than normal, whatever that is. But it's it's just been a you know, very solid cue for me in the last few years, and right now I couldn't pick up any other cue and play with it right now. It's just part of my arm, and I'm sure his is too. Same thing.
What wrap is on that cue?
It's Chinese leather. It's you know, it's the cue itself is from China, and I need a wrap myself. I don't like to slick, no wrap. It's not a good feel for me. Other people, it is. I need to be able to feel something in my hand, and you know, it's a cue, and it's a very solid hitting cue.
Francisco,
Steel
can you
joints,
put yours up there?
always steel joints for myself.
Steel joints?
Always steel joints.
Two steel jointed cues here.
All the old guys, most of them steel joints.
Now, Francisco, this is a bear cue?
Yeah, that's the bear cue from Germany, and he sponsored me since 1994.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You've played with this since '94.
The brand.
Yeah, since 1994, yeah.
This cue or bear cues?
Bear cue.
Okay.
Yeah, not this cue. This cue's fairly new. He just jumped to a 21 ounce here last year or so. But
You can
before
change weight.
Yeah, before I played 19 and up now.
What's this on the butt? Is that a butt?
Oh, I miss, like you say, I miss easy ball, so I go like this. So I miss this one, the stainless. So I gotta put it back and make a tape.
I tell you one trick that I learned over the years. If you go to hit it on the ground, you have to hit it at an angle, because if you hit it straight, the rubber expands and it'll bust a butt plate awful quick. I know that from experience with some old cues. So if you hit it, you have to make sure you kind of hit it at an angle, and it won't do it.
Okay, I will do that.
You have to remember that.
and try to play on carpeted facilities.
Absolutely, that's right.
Scott Prost is playing in San Francisco. Up
At the billiard club.
Yeah, in the California billiard. He missed a shot. He got 5,000 Q cost. His Q is cost 5,000. So he got ivory here. He missed a easy shot. He go like that. The ivory is flying. I playing in the next table. He's playing with me. The ivory.
Cue shrapnel.
Yeah, and he still win the match. And I say, here is your prize.
Yeah,
I give
I'm
it
sure
to
that
him.
was comforting to him at the time.
5,000.
I don't think I own anything that's 5,000. Man, I couldn't sleep at night right now.
Yeah,
What diameter is your shaft, Francisco?
Diamonds?
No,
Diameter.
How big
What's
around?
the size of your shaft?
1275.
1275.
So same as
12
myself.
3/4.
And your cue's 58 inches
Yeah,
standard length,
58, yeah, regular.
and 21 ounces, huh?
Yeah, in regular shaft.
And you run looks like a linen wrap.
Yeah, linen, yeah. You're absolutely right.
I played with linen for actually forever till I started playing with this. I probably started playing with this 10 years ago when I signed on with Scorpion, and I played with linen.
Yeah,
for
they've been with
15
you 10 years, 12
We've
years
been
as a sponsor?
well, on and off. I've been with Kathy and Q Sticks probably since, oh Lord, even back in my Sean Q days.
Yeah.
I was
that's
with
right.
Kathy.
Yeah.
I was
we
with
like to-
her even back then. She's been a, thank you, Kathy. She's
Well, we
been
like
a
to
godsend.
recognize sponsors
Sure.
because they support the game, and that's
Sure.
what it's all about. You know?
Yeah, Q Sticks has been just a wonderful sponsor for myself, and we have a great friendship, personal, and they're just great people and supportive, and through the hard times too, and they just stuck with myself.
Justin,
Man, I
you're
tell you
missing
what,
something. Go ahead. You can do it
I want to
again.
say
Did they
something
catch it on
right
the
now.
camera?
My family,
I don't know.
I miss you guys. I love
more
my
time.
family.
What'd you do?
What did you do?
That's saved for pot now.
Do y'all have the picture what we took, Shane and I?
No.
I kissed
Mars
him.
sent it to me.
Oh man, I have to have
I cannot
that. He
take
caught
this
it.
guy.
He
got it
caught
on
it at
my
an
phone.
absolute perfect
Well, yeah, last
time.
time
And
you
Shane's
played
eyes was like this. I
Yeah.
said, "That'll go up in my pool room.
Yeah.
That will."
Yeah, that's on my Facebook actually. John sent it to me.
Is it?
When you beat Shane, you kiss him?
Before
Actually,
he beat him.
before I beat him, it was during the match. I think it was during the break.
Well, you
and-
remember
and,
when Bustamante played Shane, and everybody says, "Well, how'd you play?" And Shane and Bustamante says, "I think I played good." And Efren says, "You played like sheep."
Efren told him. Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
He's back in the corner off camera.
Efren was here and said you played bad. Huh?
I play with Shane and he came and said, I don't like Efren here, you know. I know he gonna say something, you know. And,
Efren always.
yeah, I play good. I say, no, you play shit.
That's what he said.
Yeah, Efren, he's kind of funny.
You know,
Yeah.
and you gotta love Efren.
Oh, sure.
Everybody loves Efren.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
You know.
Even in Philippines until now, oh, if the people, they seem happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Because-
anyhow, I mean, are you gonna get a couple of questions in
Yeah,
real quick?
I'm trying to get through this because people were nice enough to post them, so
Yeah.
I'd like to kind of get through them. Here's one from Ghost. And this is an interesting question. Goes, it's as old as time, I guess. Are pool players born, or are they developed through teaching and coaching? So do you believe there's an innate natural talent when you get, or do you believe...
Well, you know, I do that in myself right now. I teach people, you know. And I'm not boring because, you know, I live this, my career in playing pool only. I'm not boring until now, you know. I still love the game.
No,
And-
born. Do you believe that you're
Born.
born to
Oh,
be
born.
born?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
you,
are you
do you
born
believe you have
with it?
natural
Like,
talent?
Oh,
Or
I
do you
have no
believe-
idea. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think only if you like
Develop
the
it.
game, you know, you just go
And play it because you
and
like
play
it.
it. If you like it, like me, I like it, so I stay.
Yeah.
And
So-
look, I got son, I got 4 sons, and nobody play pool.
Myself, I think you have to have both. I think you have to
Talent
have,
and
I
desire.
think you have to have talent that you're born with, because it's like I can practice as much as I want hitting golf balls. I'm never going to hit the ball like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You know, I have to admit that. And most people are not going to be able, if they practice all the hours they want playing pool, is not going to hit the ball like Bustamante.
Right.
That's just a fact. But you have to have that talent to be able to put many hours. You have
Work
to work
ethic.
very hard, work ethic. If you don't have that, you know, you're not going to really take it to as far as you could.
Mm-hmm.
So
Combination of things. Is
combination of both, I really do. And you know, definitely God-given talent. You know, you have to have, born with it. You know, like I said.
Were you guys, did you ever take any formal instruction, or was it more kind of a loose mentor relationship with a better player when you were young, or did you just watch and learn?
action.
Myself, I took on a mentor. Actually, he's still to this day my best friend. He was the best man in my wedding. He was in my next wedding. He didn't want to be the best man because the first one didn't work. But his name is Chester Flint, and he's back from my hometown, Metter, Georgia, which is probably about as big as this studio, you know, if you took it. But he was a good player. He played a lot of guys come in town. David Howard come through. He gave David Howard the 8 on his table when David was playing. Beat David. Nick came through. He had Nick 25 games down. You know, he played only in his own pool room. So he just kind of took myself and mentored me away from the table. You know, he kind of mentored me as a life coach. You know, kind of watching out for me, make sure I don't get in too much trouble, make sure I don't make too many mistakes, kind of guide me. And, you know, even to the day, we're kind of business partners doing certain things. Great guy. And then I learned myself, you know, the game itself, I learned by watching all the greats. You know, I was a tape watcher. I would take videos, AccuStats. Thank you, AccuStats, for back in the old days.
Yeah.
You know, I took AccuStats and I watched them, and I watched matches, and I just watched and I threw myself right in the middle of everything and said, this is how I feel like I can learn. I've got to get my tail beat for many years, and, you know, hopefully I'll come out of it, you know, on the other side. And that's what I did to, you know, try to help myself get better, and it worked.
What about you, Francisco? How did you learn the game?
Yeah, I have a friend before when I was a kid in my province. and he's #1 in my city. So I just follow him wherever he play. I carry his cue, you know, and I watch his game. I practice myself, and then I ask him, and then I improve my my game and practice a lot. And then after that, I see Farika and Efren, and I practice more because I watch them, you know, they crazy if they play in pool, you know, I go crazy. I say, how they do that, you know, how they do that. Say, let me try this one, you know, and I try myself. And if I make it, I say, okay, I gotta keep trying. And I watch a lot of good players. Even when I was in Germany, you know, I watch a lot of good players. And then especially when I come here, I play good, you know, but I still watch the good player, and I still learning, you know. And that's why I improve my game.
Now, have either one of you, I mean, have you had any proteges? So have you like carried on that thing to where have you taught anyone? They're younger guys, or is it
the
just
next generation?
Yeah, stuff like that, or is it just one of those things to where you're still at the top of the game, competing so much you don't have time, you're not in one place long enough?
You know, there's been over the last 10 years myself, I see a lot of young players coming along, and I always try to do myself what I was taught. You know, more mentoring outside the table.
Yeah.
You know, because they're going to learn the shots. They're great. You know, they're going to know what to do. They're going to learn themselves. You know, so myself, you know, I really enjoy being around Shane. You know, he's just. He makes me, he looks, you know, I look like him when I was, or he looks like me when I was, you know, in my 20s. A little fun, you know, get out of your shell. I know everybody thinks he's kind of shy and everything. He's really not.
Yeah.
You know, you would be very surprised at a couple of the pictures that I've gotten, you know, myself. And I'm sure he's surprised at a couple pictures he's gotten, you know, myself. But, you know, and that's more what it is. If you can't have fun, if you can't enjoy what you're doing and enjoy where you're at with the people you're around, you're not going to get any better, and so you're going to go try to do something else. So enjoy yourself, have fun, and you know, if you can help somebody, you know, go up and you know, hey, let me talk to you for a second. You know, let me, you know, I know you don't want to push yourself on them. You know, it's like anything, but you know, they're listening. Yeah.
Now, Francisco, especially in your country with the stable system and, you know, different groups and things like that, it seems like there's, and I see at events, that's one thing I really like about the Filipino players is there's almost a community aspect to it. You know, like perfect example is like when Dennis won the 10 ball out there, you know, there's 15 people out there with him all going, you know, hey, you know, I mean, and so is that kind of community or tight-knit group kind of thing, does it lend itself to trying to help young players up, or does it just, you know, how does it work?
In my country, Justin, if Filipino player win, and a lot of people, they give a lot of support, and then the kids, you know, if they say in TV, oh, police, some player win again, and then they have interesting play in pool. That's why in pool in Philippines, I think never go down, you know, always in the top.
Motivation for young people once they see one of their countrymen.
There's a tremendous pride for the Filipino people.
Right, yeah, maybe that's the best word
should
for
be
it.
I'll tell you what, it's so
pride.
strong.
Sure.
You can go, I went to get a blood test, and I was talking to her, and I said, what nationality? She's Filipino. I said, do you know Efren? And she just went on.
Absolutely.
Our mailman, check this out, the mailman at our office.
That's why I
used
like
to live
to
next
say,
door to Efren.
That's right.
In the Philippines.
That's right.
You know, it's just they're just in love with you guys. You're heroes, you know.
Yeah.
And
Role
that's
models.
why I like to take Efren, you know, because Efren is the one bring high the pool in Philippines when he win the World Championship in Cardiff, 1999. It's a lot of store, boutique, they close, they put table. And it's a lot of table in the street, you know.
Yeah.
And the young people, they play pool, and it's too big. because of Efren. That's why.
No, it's never too big. I don't think you meant it too big.
Yeah, but it's-
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
That's why I
It's-
like to think with my body, you know, and I'm very appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well,
Help
I
me
tell
on
you
that.
what, guys, we've run about 30 minutes longer than we normally do, and I really appreciate it.
No, this has been great,
Yeah.
and we really appreciate
And
it.
I'd like
look
to say
forward-
thank you to my family. I miss you guys so much for being home. And I'm ready to get home, see Lee and everybody. Thanks for letting me come out here. Excuse me.
Well, let's get that prediction in real quick before we take off.
Francisco,
Yeah, me too. I miss my family. I've been here almost 2 months.
Wow.
And it's nothing in Philippines. I have to do it, you know. I have to pay bills, a lot of food, you know. And
I know how that is.
And I always thank my sponsor, Mr. Puyat and Bear Custom Q in Germany. They always help me. They nice for me. So God bless, and I hope you stay longer.
And I'd like to say thank you to all the people out here in the pool world, AZ Billiards, you guys, TAR, for having us here, for giving us this opportunity for us to go battle. You know, we're friends when it's over, no matter who wins.
Honorable combat. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're
you,
gonna fight our tail off to see who wins. But I would like to really say thanks to the pool world for coming together when my son was sick. And you know I hadn't had a chance to really say that, and they came together. And you know, no matter, I know we all kind of were fighting last year, you know, with the ABP. But they come together, put all that aside, and I know Mark was part of that, and Justin, and I kept hearing well wishes from you guys, and that's really what mattered to me at the end, not the rest. And now he's better. Thank you very much.
that's great. Speaking of which, I've got your little
Yes.
present for your son right
Absolutely. That's really Leanne. I've got signatures from Mr. Drake Bell, who now all of a sudden you guys can't. You know, I know Lee just watches him all the time now. You got to talk to him on the phone the other day, and now they're like best buds now.
Well, the funny story she was telling me where he asked his mom, he said, well, I got his number now. Can I call him?
Absolutely. Drake called Lee and talked to him on the phone, and Lee says, so I got your number now. I could call you anytime. We're like best buddies. And Melanie was sitting there, well, Lee, no, that's not what this is meant for, you know. But it's been great. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, TAR 27, race to 25, 10 ball, first day. Let's get the predictions. Francisco, of course, you think you're going to win. 2 days or 3 days?
Well, I have no idea. But before I say that, I just want to say thank you to Tar, Justin,
Sure.
and Mark Griffin, you know,
Absolutely.
for inviting me again here. And I have no idea, you know, I can say nothing. Johnny, you know, is still a good player. Even we are old, you know, we're still fighting. And
We're going to fight. That's
I think we just say both of us good luck, you know, play well and enjoy the game.
Right on. Johnny?
Myself, it's not going to be easy for anybody. It's going to be a good, hard-fought match. You know, of course, I think I'm going to win. That's just,
Yeah.
you know,
You got to think
You
it.
have
I'm more.
to.
I guess I'm more, you know, trying to hope that more than think it. I guess anything, but you know, it's like anything. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you're not going to do well. So
There we go.
I'm sure he thinks it himself,
Yeah.
and if he doesn't think that, he's not going to do well. So in our mind, maybe we want to respect each other. We don't want to blurt it out loud, but you know, we both think we're going to win.
And I have no
that,
idea
That
what
I'm going to tell you.
what the scuttlebutt. I haven't had time to read any. And I
Sure.
don't know who's saying, because I think originally they probably would have said Bustamanians, but
Sure,
you
favorite.
You made a lot of believers last week.
You played pretty damn good here last
Oh,
week. and I
he's
think you-
favorite. That's guaranteed. He's
Especially on
favorite.
Saturday.
I don't know.
I
you know,
don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, he's favorite, guaranteed. He's favorite. He's by far, you know, the better breaker and the
You
shot
look, Shane,
maker. and-
when you play Shane, Shane is a favor. But what happened to Shane?
Shane
played
probably
great.
felt bad for the old guy. He's going to have many, many years,
well,
many tar matches.
I really
I don't know
think-
how many I'm going to have.
Yeah.
You know, and
We
yourself,
never know, yeah.
you know, we
Shane
never
got
know.
more time, yeah.
Yeah, he's got more. So he probably felt like, you know.
Well, I want
Let
to
me
thank both you guys for
Sure.
showing up.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Especially Johnny, this is your like second or third time.
This is wonderful.
You can take one of our places pretty quick. It'll be the
podcast.
fat guy, the old guy, and the pool side.
And the pool crew, the pool player, yeah. I want to thank all my sponsors for letting me be here. Bonus Ball, Scorpion, CSI. Thank you, Mark, for having us here. Justin on tar. You know, Yalen Tables.
Yep.
You know, thank you. We wouldn't be able to be here. I'm sure his sponsor. We wouldn't be able to be here now if it wasn't for a long history. Thank you guys for giving us this opportunity.
Thanks for you guys for coming, especially thanks to all the people who took time to write in questions for the thread. We didn't get to them all. It's tough too, but you know.
And thanks to OB this time.
Yeah,
OB's back on board.
OB's the sponsor for tomorrow's match. But for all you guys, all the info to purchase this weekend, if you haven't already, is up on the webpage. And we will see you tomorrow. We kick off 7 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Pacific time. And,
I'd like to say thanks to all the fans. I've been following the AZ forums, and I know you are really much all the fans, and I'm seeing much positive input from everybody. You know, I know everybody thinks
it's getting some good
it's
respect.
getting much better. The positive input that I see just about the whole game itself, the whole sport itself, not, you know, putting all the other problems aside. I know, you know, everybody thought that Mark and I was, you know, maybe against each other. That's not true. For sure, we respect each other, and we'll be here
We can
for a
have
long time.
disagreements.
That's
I mean,
absolutely right.
You know, like you said,
That's
well,
right.
if you don't sit down at the table, you'll never
Sure.
you'll always have disagreements.
That's
But you
right.
can put them to bed if you talk.
We're gonna, if we all work together and do this, this will be a sport that our kids are gonna play and do very well at. So let's all really keep together, and we can build this into something that we would never dream.
Yep.
All of us working together.
All right. Well,
all right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We're going to wrap it up.
We got,
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
4
20
o'clock.
hours to showtime. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much,
You
Mr.
bet.
Mark. Thanks. And you, now I'm telling you, I'm going to whip your ass. And I'm going to really tell you, I didn't want to tell everybody, but I'm kicking your ass just to let you know.